and now we get a peek at some of the top players here for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis ready to go in the booth. We hope you're ready to go at the controls. Let's play. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from the City Beautiful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. First and 10, McNair on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Coleman, and he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Second down, McNair. And this one complete to Winton over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll try and sneak it here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
It seems like, and it is a gamble on their side of the field, but they have supreme confidence in picking it up on quarterback sneak. You can just feel it from this team.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receiver or offensive lineman? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down following the run.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Coleman now. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Portland in control of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Out of the gun, it's McNair. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to have a third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Ed McCaffrey, the intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. From the gun, here's McNair. This will be caught at about the 6. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
McNair to throw, and it's caught. Touchdown. Jason Witten from 3 yards out. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They start the drive with Anderson. Room here to run. And his first carry, he loses the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So they're operating in the red zone. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now McNair. And it's caught. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
They go play action here on first down. Surveying the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't. When you run a screen pass really well, you gotta like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A good pickup there, a 22. Red zone opportunity.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. From the 3 now. Here they come on 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown. I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They go back to the air here after the eye. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw on second down is Stafford. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep. Wiley.
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Back to throw, Stafford. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a play fake here on first down. Finding time. He's going to loft one. Deep left. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. And it's up and good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Tyreek Hill on the return. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, McNair. They complete it to Hill. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, Look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the book.
Yeah. You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battles.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Ryan Shazier, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Mike Wallace, a 20-yard touchdown. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. Welcome back live to Orlando. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's Coleman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Up to make the tackle, Champ Bailey. 7 yards remain now on 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. the gun. It's McNair. And no, it's incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now this offense ready to take over again. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
In the backfield is Anderson. Off of play action, here's Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by... There he goes, left side. He's at the 40, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. To throw, McNair throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. They come out here in the eye. This is Coleman. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now McNair. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, it's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now McNair. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. It's a nice pickup at 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. First down and goal, the offense knocking on the door. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Tevin Coleman, an 8-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. From the 50, it's Stafford. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Now Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the court...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. On second down, here's Stafford. That is caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the two. They don't get it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
From the gun, here's McNair. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.